a little bit of stretching today. So we're going to start on our backs, lying down, stretching the arms high over the head, reaching with the fingers as we point the toes. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, relax your arms by your side, and start with bringing the soles of the feet to touch. Knees falling out wide into butterfly. Take your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly, and just take a moment to settle in, to ground the energy of your body, to calm the mind, and to connect to the breath. As you breathe, send the breath deep into your belly, and on each inhale, feel that connection as the belly rises into your right palm. On each exhale, feel the belly fall as the breath leaves the body. Nice and slow. And as you continue to breathe, feel your left hand resting on your heart, and perhaps tune into the energy of your heartbeat. Perhaps you can feel that into your hand, and feel the interplay between the breath and the strength of your heart. And we'll take 5 more breaths in and out through the nose, nice and slow. Don't force yourself to extend the inhale or exhale. Just allow everything to naturally slow down. Perhaps finding some pauses between the breaths at the top of the inhale and at the bottom of the exhale. And just noticing the different sensations, noticing how full you feel at the top of your inhale, and that sense of lightness as the breath leaves the body fully, leaving you empty, waiting for the new breath. Once you finish the next round of breath, very slowly open your arms out wide like a capital T, fingers reaching to the sides of the room. Slowly bring your left knee up towards your chest, and then step your left foot past your right knee. So the foot is flat, the left knee is pointing up to the ceiling, and then take your right hand and grab a hold of your left ankle or shin if you can reach it. If you can't reach it, keep the arms resting wide. Now let your left hip fall back down, left shoulder stays heavy, and just feel that nice stretch across your left hip, across the side of your body. Let the features of your face relax, mouth soft, jaw slack. And see if you can stay here for 5 more slow breaths. Of course, if you're doing this as a more restorative class and you have the time, you can stay here for anywhere up to 2 to 3 minutes, making it more yin-like for the body. Today we're focusing just on deep stretches, releases, perhaps improving and increasing mobility. Once you finish your last round of breath, you're going to keep your legs exactly as they are. So left foot stepping over that right thigh. You're simply going to open your arms wide again so that right arm opens. And then you're going to step your right foot down, and now you're in an open eagle figure 4 shape. Make sure your spine is centered, and then you're going to slowly take both hands to the inside of your left thigh and push that left hip open. Try not to apply too much force, just enough to feel that external rotation through the left hip. Take a few breaths here. Try to keep that openness across the hip as we slide our hands through the opening, grabbing the back of our right thigh. We're going to pull the knees towards the chest. Try to keep your tailbone down for this one. Continue to pull as the left hip continues to externally rotate. So left hip opens out to the left. And then slowly straighten your right leg and rebend it. Straighten and rebend. 3 more times. Straighten and rebend. Last time, straighten and rebend. Pull the knees in a little tighter, and then very gently release your right foot down. Cross the left knee this time tightly over the right. Open the arms wide once more. Shift your hips slightly over to the left, and let the knees drop over to the right. Nice little spin, twist through the spine. Let the shoulders grow heavy. And here you can turn your head away from your knees or have it set at neutral. Once more, let's aim for 5 breaths. Once you complete your own 5th round of breath, bring the knees back through center, unwind them from each other, and come back into your butterfly. Soles of the feet touch, knees falling out wide, left hand to your chest, right hand to your belly. A little reset, just observe whatever sensations you feel along the left and right side of your body. Let's take 3 more breaths. Arms wide. This time bring your right knee towards your chest. Step your right foot past your left thigh. And if you can, take your left hand grabbing for that right ankle or shin. Slowly roll the right hip down. Right knee points to the ceiling. Five breaths here. Again, you always have that option to stay longer. Pausing the video and just enjoying the stretch. Gently release your left hand from your right ankle, open the arms wide. Keep this shape with the legs as you step your left foot down. Again, making that figure 4 shape. Take both hands to the inside of your right thigh this time and externally rotate. So push that hip out. Don't force it, just enough pressure to feel the hip externally rotate. A few more breaths. Slowly slide both hands through the opening, grabbing the back of your left thigh, and then just pull the knees towards your chest. Now try to keep your tailbone down, and again, focus on that external rotation. Keep opening the right hip out to the right as you draw the knees towards you. Keep drawing the knees in and just straighten your left leg to the ceiling. And then bend it, and then straighten, and bend 3 more times. 1, and squeeze. 2, last one. 3, and pull it in. 1 more breath here. And then gently release your left foot down. Slide the right knee tightly over the left. Open the arms wide. This time shift your hips slightly over to the right, and the knees can fall to the left. Your head can stay neutral, or you can turn your head to the right. Breathing in and out through the nose if possible, keeping the mouth closed if you can, relaxing the features of your face, particularly that space around your eyes and mouth. 3 more breaths. slowly inhale the knees through center. Unwind them from each other. And this time, one by one, hug both knees towards the chest. As you hold your shins, squeeze the thighs towards your ribs and flatten your whole back body down into the mat. Give yourself a few little rolls here, side to side, finding some release, softening the tissue, the muscle along the back body. And then slowly start to rock and roll up and down until you make your way up into a seat. As you come into your seat, bring your feet hips width apart, keeping the knees bent. We're going to hold our hands either in front of our body, or if you need the support, you can take your hands behind you, just staying on your fingertips, palms lifted, and fingers pointing away from your back. And we're just going to roll the hips side to side. It's harder, obviously, without the hands supporting you. Just moving through the hips. And then the next time the knees roll over to the right, we're going to let the knees land. So left shin is across the top of the mat. We're going to turn, facing the back of our mat, both hands down, spine extending. Turn, 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 looking over to your right. Stay here for 3, for 2, one more. And then keeping your right hand down, you're going to turn and take your left arm up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to turn back. Left hand touches the right. We're going to open and touch. Open and touch. Twice more. Open and touch. Last one. Open, and as you touch, come down onto your forearms and drop the weight of your head. 3 breaths here. Press into your hands and float the elbows and forearms off the mat. Walk your hands closer in towards your right hip, and then either holding your hands at your heart or just using one hand to support you. Going to turn back towards center and then drop the knees to the left. I'm going to move back so you can see better. Drop the knees to the left. So this time the right shin is across the mat. I'm going to turn to the left. So turning towards the back of the mat. Walk the hands back, lift out of your waist, and just turn the body. Keep extending and lengthening. You'll feel the pull along the left side. One more breath. And then we open our right arm, turning our right chest, and then right hand to left hand, we're close to it, and open, and touch. 3 more, and touch. 2 more, and touch. Last one, and touch. And then walk the hands further forward, come onto your forearms, drop the weight of your head, take 3 breaths. Once more, pressing into your hands, lift the elbows and forearms, walk your hands in towards your hip, and then turn back towards center. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Come right onto your sitting bones, so wiggle back so you're right on your sitting bones. Lift out of your waist, lift your heart forward, extend the arms high over your head, take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, hinge forward, circle the arms wide, and lift. Moving forward, rounding the spine slightly, and then lifting up. 3 more. And lift. 2 more. And lift. 1 more. And lift. Hold it here, get really long. Take your hands behind you, fingers pointing towards your bum. Option to bend your knees or keeping the legs long. We're gonna lift our hips. If your legs are straight, try to bring the balls and toes of your feet to touch. Push the hips high, lift your chest through your shoulders. Do not drop your head back. Take 1 more breath in. Exhale, slowly slide back and sit yourself down. Lean back to cross your ankles and roll forward through all 4s. Hands underneath the shoulders, hips stacking over the knees. Pressing firmly through the palms, through the fingers and knuckles. We're gonna protract and retract through our shoulders. So we're gonna lift out of our shoulders and then sink down. Lift out and sink down. Let's do that 3 more times. Keep the neck long. Lift and sink, lift, and sink. One more time, lift out of your shoulders, and then sink down through the shoulders. Find a nice neutral spine, and then extend your right leg out. We're gonna try to keep our right big toe in line with our left knee, hands underneath the shoulders, spine is nice and long, continuing that nice posture, neck is nice and long here as well. Slowly, we're going to open our right arm out to the right, turn our whole body up, and then right hand touches left, and then open as you inhale, touch the palms as you exhale, twice more. Open and touch. Last time, open, but this time instead of touching your left hand, you're going to take your right arm and slide it underneath the left, coming to relax the head down. Left hand helps to push you further to the right, so feeling that space behind your right shoulder and through the inside of your right thigh and groin. 3 more breaths. Pressing down into your left hand, straighten that left arm to lift yourself up, and once more, open the right arm out to the right. Release both hands down, arms are straight, hands shoulder width apart. Lift your right leg up and float it behind you, bringing the knees together, push the hips down towards the heels, walk your hands forward, and melt into a child's pose, dropping the weight of your head. Take 3 breaths here. At the bottom of your next exhale, we're gonna come up with our spine in flexion, so rounded like we're an angry cat, chin towards the chest, lifting out of the shoulders, tuck of the pelvis. And then here we're gonna shake our head a few times side to side. And then slowly come into a big cow pose, floating the heart up, lifting the chin. And then back into our neutral tabletop position. Nice long spine, long neck. We're going to extend our left leg out. Again, try to keep that big toe in line with your right knee. This time, we're going to keep our right hand down. Left arm is going to sweep to open. And then we're going to touch palm to palm. Open, turn the whole side of your body up. Follow with your gaze and touch. 3 more. Open and touch. Last 2 and touch. Last 1. This time, instead of touching, we're going to slide the left arm through the right, coming to rest our head, pulling back. So use your right hand as leverage to pull further back to your left. And taking a few breaths here. 3 more breaths. As you finish your last breath, press into your right hand, straighten that right arm, and once more, open your left arm, left side of the body up. Release your left hand down, both hands underneath the shoulders. Take your left leg up and back, bend the knee, and come back through all 4s. This time, we're gonna once more sink into our shoulders. As we do, we're gonna lift into a big cow pose, lifting the chin. And then we're gonna curl, lifting out of our shoulders, tucking the pelvis in, chin towards the chest, into our angry cat. And in angry cat, tap the hips down, landing back in child's pose. Take 3 breaths. At the bottom of your exhale, pressing into your hands, spine still in flexion. In that angry cat, we're gonna roll up. Again, give a little wiggle of your head side to side. Relax the head, sink into your shoulders, lift the heart, lift the chin. Big cow pose, and then neutral. Keeping the hips high, we're gonna walk our hands further forward, and keeping the hips stacking over the knees, we're gonna release down. See if you can get your head onto the mat. If this is too intense, you can come onto your forearms and rest your head here. If you like, you can take your hands into prayer, being on your elbows, hands touching behind your head. So depending on how tight your chest or shoulders are, figure out what works best for you. And of course, if you experience like pain or severe discomfort in any of these poses, then make whatever modifications you need or just skip them. This is about feeling good, not about feeling pain. So we're here for 5 breaths. If your hands are behind your head, slowly release them down and in front. Lift your elbows off the mat. If they're on the mat, lift your head and then push your body forward, landing on your pubic bone. Hands wider than the shoulders, arms straight, maybe a little micro bend. We don't want to lock out our joints, especially also if you have hypermobility. You don't want to have that pattern in your body, so have that little softness in the elbows. We're going to push the chest forward, and then we're going to slowly rotate. So our right shoulder drops, our left shoulder lifts slightly. We turn the body, moving through the thoracic spine, our gaze following to the right. Come back through center, and take that little turn, this time to the left. It's a very small movement. If this causes you any pain, please don't do it. Good. Come back through center, and then slowly push the hips back. Walk the hands underneath the shoulders, and this time just circle around, moving through the hips and the shoulders. Take at least 3 circles, maybe 5, whatever feels good, in one direction. And then swap it around, moving the body 3 to 5 times. Keep it the same on both sides. Good. As you finish, slowly walk your hands towards your knees and sit onto your heels. From here, we're going to lift our hips up. We're going to step our right foot forward, so we're in a lunge. And we want to make sure that we're in a deep enough lunge, so our foot steps forward enough so that we have the space to push the hips forward. We're going to take both hands onto the right thigh, and as we lunge, we're going to open, circling to the right. Circle out and then in. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And then take a deep lunge. Walk your foot further out towards the right edge of your mat. Bring your hands down onto a block if you need it, or down onto the mat. And then lift your left knee off the ground for a moment and keep pushing the hips forward. Lift your chest and chin. So you're stretching the front of your left ankle, as well as a deep stretch across that left hip flexor. And then slowly release your knee down. Turn your foot at about a 15-degree angle, so that right foot turns out. Take your right hand to the inside of your right thigh and push that hip, perhaps coming onto the pinky edge of your foot, rolling that hip out. Hold it here. If you want a little more spice, take your right arm up and over, and if you can, catch your left foot kicking into your hand, and at the same time pulling the foot as you kick, pushing that left hip forward. Rotate through the spine, gaze to the right. 1 more breath. As you exhale, gently release your foot. Sweep your right arm back out in front, and if you have that space in your hip, perhaps coming down to your forearms. If you don't, just staying on your hands, or perhaps a cushion or blocks, whatever you have handy for 5 breaths. Whenever you finish your last round of breath, if you're on your forearms, come back onto your hands. Drop your foot and then slowly walk your foot through to the center of the mat. We're going to push our hips back, come onto the heel of our foot, flexing the foot, toes pointing to the ceiling. Pull the right hip back, and rather than rounding your spine, we're going to keep our hands on the floor and reach our chest towards our toes. Keeping the neck long, we're going to extend the spine. Hold it here for 3, 2, 1 more breath. And then slowly drop your right foot, rebending the knee, and then walk your foot across to the left edge of the mat. Slowly lower your shin. Try to keep it as square as you can. For some of our hip structures, our body structures, it's impossible. So if you need to bring that left heel towards your left groin, by all means, square off the hips as much as you can. And perhaps if you need, you can place a block or a cushion or a rolled up towel underneath your right hip. Again, rather than rounding the spine, hands help you to extend, to lift your chest. We're gonna bend the elbows and lower, and then straighten the arms and lift. Lower and lift, like a little push-up on pigeon. 3 more. And lift, spine is long, last 2. And lift. On the last one, we're gonna stay, bringing our arms forward, relaxing the weight of our head down. Again, we're gonna stay here for 5 breaths, or if you want to, you can take several minutes. Play with this class and make it feel good in your body. I think of this as like a great ungluing, like letting go of whatever tension you've stored in your muscles, in your joints, in your fascia, connective tissue, and of course that big muscle in your head, your brain. So much tension out in the world at the moment. Let it go. Two more breaths. And then slowly lifting up your head, walk your hands in. We're gonna sit onto our right hip and slide our left knee inside the sole of our right foot. Right shin across the mat, left shin along the left side of the mat. Try to get your foot close to your hip, and then slowly see if you can lower onto your elbows or forearms. If you have the capacity, come all the way down, but make sure your left knee stays on the ground. So don't lift it up, bring it down. Rolling that left hip internally. If you're lying fully, relax your head and shoulders. And again, focus on softening the space around your mouth, your jaw, and your eyes. This is a great place to stay for a few minutes if you can. Otherwise, let's keep it at 5 breaths for now. If you're lying on your back fully, the easiest way to come out is to simply roll over to your right. That left knee will release, and you can just take a moment lying on your right side. Alternatively, if you are in this forearm position, then simply walk yourself upright. Wherever you are from your side or from walking yourself upright, roll yourself back, cross your ankles, pull the feet in, and roll yourself back through all 4s. Hands underneath the shoulders, hips stacking over the knees. Let's circle again. 3 to 5 circles through hips and shoulders. Once you've done one side, circle in the opposite direction, keeping the number of circles the same. Once you finish, slowly walk your hands back towards your knees, lean onto your heels. And then lift the hips up this time, the footsteps forward, making that step long enough so that you have the space to lunge and circle through your left hip. We're gonna take both hands onto our left thigh. We push the hips forward, move it out to the left and in. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Beautiful. Take a nice deep lunge. As you do, you're going to walk your left foot towards the left edge of the mat. Bring both hands down, firmly pressing. You're going to press the top of your foot. So toes pressing down, fronts of the toes, front of the foot pressing down. We're going to lift our right knee off the mat. So you're pulling that right hip forward, stretching the hip flexor, the front of the foot and the ankle. Try to keep the spine nice and long here. Keep that extension through the heart, spine, the neck. One more breath. And then slowly release the right knee down. Walk the left foot out at about a 15-degree angle. Keep the foot flat or come onto the pinky edge. We're gonna take our left arm up and over. If you can catch your foot behind you, kick it into your hand at the same time, pull the foot and push your right hip forward. Turn your gaze in the same direction. Open, finding a little twist through the spine. One more breath. And then gently release and slowly lower the foot down. Both hands come back in front. Again, you can be on the pinky edge of your foot. You can stand your hands. We never want to lock out those elbows. Please remember, especially if you have hypermobility through your joints. So keep a micro bend, or if you can, then come down onto your forearms. You can let your head hang, letting the back of the neck stretch. 5 breaths. You can stay longer, of course, if you need to. When you're ready, slowly climbing onto your hands. And then we're gonna walk our left foot to the center of the mat. We're gonna slowly push back, coming onto our left heel, flexing that foot, toes point to the ceiling. Try to keep your hips nice and level. Pull the hips back in space. Imagine someone's got a band around your hips and they're pulling it back. And at the same time, chest is moving forward. So we're not curling into ourselves. We're continuing to extend, to reach out of our waist. Neck is long. Perhaps feeling the foot stretch, the calf, the hamstring, everything here opening up. 2 more breaths. And then slowly rebending the knee. Drop the foot and walk it across towards the right edge of the mat. Bring your hands forward and slowly lower onto that shin. Again, work with your body. If having that shin square hurts or doesn't feel right, feel free to walk your heel towards your right hip. Square off the hips as much as you can, and then see if you can slowly do those push-ups. So walking the hands forward, take a breath in as you exhale. Bend the elbows. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. 3 more. 2 more. On this last one, as we lower, we're gonna stay, relax the head, and then imagine that your hips are on a steering wheel, left hip moving down, right hip moving up. That's gonna help to square the hips off more so you can access a deeper stretch into your left outer hip and glute. 5 breaths. And again, feel free to stay for as long as you like. Pigeon is one of those poses that is either agony or ecstasy. Feel free to put something underneath your left hip for extra elevation if you need it. Anything will do. Cushion, a rolled up towel. Always meet yourself where you find yourself. Don't force your body into some weird contortion that hurts. There's nothing to be gained except pain. God knows there's enough pain in the world at the moment and in our bodies. Once you finish your last breath, we'll slowly lift ourselves up. Come back onto your hands, sitting onto your left hip. We're gonna slide our right knee into the sole of our left foot. We're gonna bring that right heel closer towards our right hip. And again, gently lower as far as you can comfortably get while maintaining your right knee on the mat. Each side of our body is different. So if you need to stay on your forearms on this side, stay. If you have the space to come lower. But don't compromise, don't lift that knee. Keep that knee down. That right hip is now rolling in. It's a really huge stretch here across the hip flexor. Arms can rest by your side, on your body, wherever it feels good. This is one of those poses that the longer you stay, the more you relax. So initially it's like, ah, but if you can stay, you'll find that the muscles relax and the tension will release. If you're on your back this time, the easiest way to come out of this pose is to roll to your left. If you are on your forearms, then sit yourself up, and once more, we're gonna meet in a sitting position on our bums. This time, legs reaching out in front. We're gonna bring our arms out in front, and we're gonna hollow out. So we're gonna find a little flexion in our lower back. We're gonna bring the bottom of our rib cage towards our hips. We're gonna flex our feet. We're gonna reach our arms forward and drop our chin towards our chest. And then as slowly as we can, we're gonna, bone by bone, lower all the way down, 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 down. Once we lower, we're gonna reach our arms overhead, point the toes, and stretch the fingers just like we began. Take a big breath in as you exhale. Relax your arms by your side. Bring the feet wider, so width of the mat or wider. And Shavasana, or simply rest. Close your eyes and just feel the energy move through your body. And you can stay here for as long as it serves you. Maybe a little nap, it's all good. Whenever your rest finishes for you, try to stay for at least 3 to 4 minutes if you can. You're gonna slowly wiggle your fingers and toes. And then again, slowly stretch your arms up, up, up. Point your toes as you reach your fingers. And then one by one, hug the knees in towards your chest. Right knee, left knee, squeeze and roll to your right side. Take a few breaths here. And then help yourself again up into a comfortable seat. And then here in your seat, whatever that is, whether that's sitting cross-legged or kneeling or sitting on a cushion, just close your eyes for a moment. You can rest your hands on your thighs, relax your shoulders, roll your head a few times, feel softness in your body, open and close your mouth. And just take a moment to feel the goodness of your body. Take a moment to feel the goodness of your breath, of family and friends, of community. Take a moment to feel the goodness of nature all around you, of all the possibilities, of all the moments yet to come. Give yourself a big smile. Feel that smile from your face into your heart, and from your heart into your face. Wishing you all the very best. Stay strong, stay positive, stay healthy. From my heart to yours, thank you.